What is going on, everybody? My name is Jay and welcome back to Unplayable, a channel where me and my friends like to talk about our favorite board and card games. Today I'm bringing you a special. I'm going to tier list the top 100 board games of all time according to BGG. Now if you go to BGG, their website, you can see a ranking of all of the board games from 1 to 5 trillion, because there's so many board games that exist now. And you can see on the first page, board game ranked at rank number 1 all the way to 100. I'm going to be taking these 100 games that the people, the masses, have voted are the top 100 games of all time. I'm going to take those games, I'm going to rank them. I'm going to tell you if they trash or if they good. And there might be a few that I've never played before. We'll get there when we get there. But let's go ahead and get started. First up, we got Five Tribes. Now this is actually one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm gonna just slide that right on up to an S. This is from Bruno Cathala, one of my favorite designers as well, and Days of Wonder, who makes insane productions for their board games. This is a no-brainer. This is literally, this is definitely in my top 50 of all time, probably in my top 25 of all time. So for me, it gets an S. And unironically, Blood Rage, which is also in my top 100 games of all time, I don't think it's an S. I think it's gotten so much hype. I have played it a ton, so maybe that weighs into it for me. It's at minimum an A. I could see an argument for it being an S. I think right now I'm going to slide it into an A just because of where I'm at right now. It's not even my favorite one in that series of that trilogy. So from Eric Lang, by the way, and Cool Mini or Not. I'm going to do an A for now. Pandemic Legacy Season 1. This is an S. It's hard for me to put it in an S because it is a legacy game that you play once, and if you want to play it again, you gotta buy it again. I have played this 3 times though, with 3 different groups, and I enjoyed it all 3 times. So for me, it's gonna be an S. I think over time, I may not play this ever again, and if that's the case, I could see it slipping. But for the experiences that I had playing it, and they're still fresh for me in the last several years, I think I have to rate it an S because I had so much fun with it. Next up, Voyages Marco Polo. I like this game a lot. This is a fantastic and I guess not even underrated because it's in the top 100. But it feels like I don't hear anyone talking about this game or playing this game, like ever. I don't think I've been to a convention and ever seen someone playing this game, which is crazy, but it's in the top 100. I think this game is fantastic. If you like Euro games, this is one of the best in my opinion. I'm gonna slide it here into the A. Now the Gallerist, I really like games from Lacerda. This is probably in my top 3 games from Lacerda, so it also deserves an A. This one's fantastic. It's a worker placement spot that has 4 different placements, except each placement has 2 different options, and you can bump people out and take that spot, but they get good stuff. I think it's fantastic. I really enjoy playing it. Next up, we got Seven Wonders Duel. This is in my top 10 games of all time right now, so this is gonna actually be the top of S. And I think I like this order so far for these games. Mansions of Madness, I'm giving this a C. That might be controversial. I know there are a ton of people that love playing this game. For me, I played it once and it was super cool. The theme was fantastic, and the story that developed over the course of the game that we played was incredible because we were running out of a mansion. We had to get out to succeed the scenario, and literally the turn that all 3 of us were gonna be exiting the mansion, my friend took too much insanity, and he had to draw one of those cards, and it said you win the game if your opponents or if your teammates lose the game. Basically, he became a bad guy, and it was too late for him to do anything because on our next turns, me and the other person immediately ran out, and it ended the scenario because he ended up dying and losing. That was really cool. The next 2 or 3 times I played this, it just fell so flat. The scenario was too long, overwrought. I don't know. I think it's a great game, but it's not one of my favorites. I'm putting it on C. I may revisit it someday. Maybe my mind has changed on this game, but for now, giving it a C. Now, I also want to preface this. I forgot to say this in the introduction. All of this is just my opinion. Number one, who cares about my opinion? My opinion's trash. It doesn't matter. Number two, what I say does not take away from anybody else's enjoyment of these games. If I trash a game, it doesn't mean it's a bad game, and it doesn't take away the enjoyment that other people might find in these games. So take my word with a grain of salt, because these are just my experiences and my opinions. Next up, we got Arkham Horror LCG. I love this game. I'm putting it in the S tier and probably above 5 Tribes because it's one of my favorite games. I don't know what else to say. The story, it's way better than Mansions of Madness. I think Arkham Horror LCG beats out Mansions of Madness tenfold, in my opinion, both in storytelling and gameplay. So, S. All right, A Feast for Odin. Man, we got some bangers to start with here. This is insane. A Feast for Odin is definitely in my top 100 games of all time. This is arguably one of my favorite Euro games. Not my favorite one, but one of them. This needs to either be top of A or bottom of S. I think right now I'm gonna put it in the top of A, and I'm really struggling to do that, but this whole list can't be just S's. I've already put 4 S's up there. That's crazy. And then the next one is a great game too. Scythe. Scythe is from Stonemaier Games, Jamie Stegmaier. I have pretty much everything you can have for Scythe. I think the only thing I'm missing for Scythe, expansions, metal stuff, resources. The only thing I'm missing is I never bought Rise of Fenris, and I never played through it, which I really want to. But yeah, I love this game. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I'm probably gonna put it above these two and below Blood Rage. It is, don't let it trick you though, based on its look. It's a Euro game about resource management and worker movement, because you're choosing spots on your board to like place your worker. You're not really placing it, you're just moving it from one spot to another to trigger the actions. But it's not a Amerithrash game. All right, the Castles of Burgundy from Stefan Feld Ravensburger. This is gonna be controversial. This game, not that good. Super overhyped. Even the new deluxe version of this game doesn't even look that good. I think it's fine. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it, but it's not one I've ever wanted to return to after my first 3 plays of it. It just was fine to me. I don't know. That's just me though. Next, Robinson Crusoe. Now, I don't own this new version of Robinson Crusoe. I own the old version, and I'm actually culling it from my collection because I went through a recent culling because I have too many games, and this hit that. So for that alone, it makes me want to put it lower. I do think it's a good game. My problem with this game is it's overly complicated, way too complex for what the game is doing. It's got, don't get me wrong, the ability to plug and play tons of completely different, unique scenarios is cool. The system where you are drawing from a deck for like kind of events, you choose one, you put a card into the deck again, and then when it comes back up, it'll trigger based on what you chose to do the last time. That's cool. It just doesn't hit the table. In the times I have played it, I played it solo because it's so complicated. There's a FAQ like sheet, not even sheet, book that's like 70 pages because of how complex this game is and how many different erratas or questions that are brought up throughout this game. So That alone is putting it as C, but I'm putting it above, I'm putting it at the top of C. War of the Ring. This one, haven't played. Just never got to it. I don't know why. I just never got to playing it. Probably because it's a heavy 2-player game, and those are not used to get played usually. And this is the kind of game I want someone to teach me instead of me learn how to play it and teach someone else. So, and my wife doesn't play it. If I'm playing 2 players, I'm playing with my wife, and we're gonna be playing Seven Wonders Duel, not War of the Ring. Also, I removed some of the categories here, changed them up, and then in my opinion, when I'm doing a tier list, red means good, red means bad, green means good. If you get an F, it's in red, white writing is circled. If you get an A, it's in green writing and it's got an A+ next to it. So I changed that around. Anyway, Mechs versus Minions. I actually like this game, and I own this game, and it's staying in my collection. Is it amazing? No, but it's super fun, easy to teach to non-gamers and people that play video games but want to try to play board game at game night or something. This is a great one to teach them, especially if they play League of Legends. So it's gonna be our first B. All right, here comes another controversial one. Concordia. Game is overrated, way overrated. I think I like it better than Castles of Burgundy though. I have the same opinion about Concordia as I do Castles of Burgundy, to be honest with you. I think they're both mid, but they're not bad games. Brass Birmingham. I actually really liked this game. I think the system of route building, plus especially with the beer system, all that kind of stuff, engine building, is good. It's one of those games that you have to learn how the network works every time you play it. So that knocks it down a little bit for me, but I think it's a good game. I'm gonna put it in B above Mechs versus Minions, but I like all of these games up here more just because of that. Obsession. Fantastic game. Amazing. I own it. I own everything for it. I kickstarted the latest expansion. I love playing this game. This one's gonna make it up here for me. It's S tier and second highest in my opinion. All right, Anachrony. I own Anachrony. You can see the box right there. It's a gigantic box. It's massive. I love playing it though. It is a bear to get to the table. It's a bear to set up. But when you do set it up and you play it, it's really fun. It's a little heavy. Could be hard to teach new gamers. So I'm putting it in A because I really enjoy playing it regardless. I think I put it above Gallerist. I think I'm good with putting it right there. Clans of Caledonia. I've only played this a few times. I think 3 times maybe. I've never owned it because it is kind of expensive and I think it might be kind of hard to get. I don't know. I think this game is amazing. Every time I played it, I wanted to buy it so bad. I just haven't. I don't know why I haven't pulled the trigger on it. But my dad owns it and he taught me and we played it. I think this game is awesome. So it's getting an A for me. And I'll put it there. Twilight Struggle. I think this game's fine. There are newer games that have come out and done similar things in a shorter amount of time, less complex. Watergate and several other two-player small box games that do something like this. What's the 20-minute World War II in 20 minutes Blitzkrieg, stuff like that. So I'm giving it a B because I respect it. I just probably am never gonna play it again. Terraforming Mars, another overrated game. Sorry guys, another controversial take. It's really overrated. We're putting it at a B. It's fine. I'm giving it a B. That's not bad. It's fine. It's a little too long for what I want. There's so many expansions. It's got over expansion bloat. That's really bad. I hate that. But it is not pretty. So unless you have all the upgrades, it's not going to look that good on the table. It's fine. Putting it at B because I will play it, but I don't own it. I own the card game version. I like that one. I like it better. If I'm ever going to play it, I'm going to play the card game version. But if my friends come over and they bring this, fine, I'll play. Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Great game. I've had some incredible experiences playing this game. I've probably played it, I don't know, 6 times in my life. That's a lot for this game. Maybe 7. But that's still a lot for this game because it is an all-day game. This game takes minimum 6 hours, it feels like, to play. That's a lot of commitment to play one single game. But the times I've played with 6 players, and it's just been a whole process. It was a whole process. Super fun. I liked it, and I'll probably never own it because I'll never get it at the table. I'll just play my friends' copies or play at conventions. But I think it warrants being an A because I've had so many great experiences playing this game. Decrypto. I have played this one a couple times. I cannot believe it's in the top 100. It's a party game. That's crazy to me. I do think it's good though. So I'll give it a B because I did enjoy playing it. I don't own it. I think my dad owns it. I vaguely remember using the little like transparent thing so that you could see a code and you're trying to get people to guess stuff. I barely remember playing it, but I remember enjoying it. Pandemic Legacy Season 2. This one doesn't get as high remarks for me as Season 1. I played through it. It took me a really long time to get through it. I played like the first 4 or 5 scenarios or missions games with my group that I played my first Pandemic Legacy Season 1 with, the first time I ever played it. And we played a few and then didn't bring it out for a very long time. When we finally brought it back out, we had to relearn the rules. It was cool. It was not Pandemic Legacy Season 1. So for that is getting a B. We'll put it here. Everdell. Love this game. I own the gigantic big box you can see right here that has literally everything for the game in it. We're giving this an S. No, we're giving this an A because I like A Feast for Odin and I at least like Feast for Odin better than Everdell. So maybe Feast should be an S. We'll rearrange it a little bit after we finish. But Everdell, I do like a lot. I don't think it's S. Root. I've played a ton of Root. Top of A. It's going to the top of A. Does it beat Feast for Odin for me though? Oh my gosh, this is really hard. I've played Root a ton on the app. I've played it way more on the app than I have in person. I've probably only played a handful of times in person because the app takes care of all of the upkeep. It's so much easier to play on the app and it keeps you within the lines of the rules. So I almost think it should be knocked down a little bit because I played on the app and not physically. But for now, I'll put it at the top of A. Nemesis, top of C, I think. I played it. It was a cool experience. It's just too difficult, too much going on, over complicated for what it's trying to give you, what kind of stories it's going to be telling. I did enjoy it. So I could see an argument for putting it at the bottom of a B, but I don't own it. I probably won't ever play it again. And I think that alone makes me put it in C because I'm not going out of my way to want to play it again. Crokinole. I do like playing this. We're going to put it at the bottom of a B though. It's a dexterity game. That's about all I got to say about it. Arc Nova. All right, this is either right next to Root or above Root. It's somewhere in these 3 spots. Because I like this game. I don't own it, surprisingly. It's because everybody and their brother around me owns this game, so I don't feel like I need to own it. Because if I ever want to play it, I'll just play their copy. Let's put it below Root. All right, Azul. That's going to the top of B for me. I think it's fun. I don't go out of my way to play it. I have no issue playing it. If one of my friends brings it, I'll say, yeah, we could play that real quick before we play a actual game. Not saying it's not an actual game. It just feels like a filler game that takes longer than what a filler takes, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with having lighter games. This one just doesn't do that much for me in the time period that it takes to play. If I want to play a lighter game, I want it to be maybe a little bit shorter than Azul. And if I'm playing an Azul length game, I want it to be something that's maybe a little bit heavier. But also, it's a great game. I like playing it, so there's that. Star Wars Rebellion. This is a really fun game. probably putting it right here because I love playing it, but it's one that doesn't hit the table very often. And actually, you know what? For that, I think I'm putting it here. I really do enjoy playing it. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. I love Star Wars stuff. I just don't get this game played that much. It's too long for a 2-player game, but it is really fun when it hits the table. So it's making it into A. It's just not top of A. Barrage. We'll put this in B, top of B. I loved playing it. It is a little take thatty, number one, and it is a little heavy, but I don't mind that. So top of B. I only played it once, so it's hard for me to judge it too critically. So I feel like top of B is fair. On Mars, this is going above the Gallerist. Probably, let's put it here. Yeah, let's put it here. On Mars is super heavy. This is another Vital Lacerda game. It's incredibly difficult to play. It took me a long time to learn the rules really well, but it was worth the effort. The mechanics of this game bring the theme to life. It's super unique. It just flows really well once you got it locked down. There's so much about this game that's cool, going from like the space station to Mars, back to the space station, and taking various worker placement actions based on what side you're on, getting your workers back when you go from one side to the other, the way you build out Mars and you're placing down these like pods that are different places that you're going to be doing research or whatever, and the way you generate resources based on that and points based on that. It's really cool. I like the game. It's fun. Tainted Grail. This is another one for me. I actually like Nemesis more than Tainted Grail because Tainted Grail is a campaign game. Nemesis, you can at least just play one scenario or just play one game and you're done. Tainted Grail, while it's a fantastic story and the concept of going around and lighting these things, and then as the things die down, the map goes back shorter because you can't see it. That's all cool. The combat system's way overcomplicated, way overdone. It's not even that interesting. That knocks it down a lot for me because I want to have a cool combat system. The theme is cool. It's just too much. It's too much. I have really dialed back down on how I take these kinds of games. They used to be my favorite games of all time. Stuff like Tainted Grail, Nemesis, Star Wars Rebellion. I haven't got any more on here yet, but these huge games that have tons of boxes, tons of miniatures, they just are such a drain to play sometimes. So I have my few that I like a lot and I will keep, and those will hit the table more frequently because I know the rules so well and I don't have to remember the rules for so many different ones. So the ones that don't make it into those few games just aren't even on my radar. So I think for that reason, they get ranked lower. Viticulture. This could be an S. This could be an S. I love playing this game. Clank also is an S for me. Clank is one of my favorite games ever. So we're going to put that above Five Tribes. I think we're putting Viticulture up there. I've played this a ton. I've played, maybe we do something like this. Let's put it here for now. I'm gonna have to decide between like Everdell, Feast, Ark Nova, Root. Some of those are gonna have to make it to the S tier. I just don't know where to place those, so I'm not gonna waste a bunch of time doing that. Wingspan, it's a solid A. It's not an S. I do love this game. I've played this game probably more than a lot of the games that I've ranked so far. Seven Wonders Duel, I've played a bunch. Clank, I've played a bunch. Root, I've played online. Viticulture, I've played a bunch. Between those and then Wingspan, those are probably the most played games I have that I've ranked on here. So, I mean, credit where credit's due. I've played it a ton, and my wife loves it. We play it 2 players. We can play this game super fast 2 players as well because we just know the game so well. We're able to jam it out in like 30 minutes, sometimes less if we are really going quick. So I'm gonna put it in A. I don't know where in A. probably above Marco Polo. I don't think I like Wingspan more than Marco Polo. I think just based on how much enjoyment I've gotten playing it with my wife puts it above it because of that. So Power Grid, I've never played. You can roast me if you want to, but I feel like I'm doing pretty good so far. I've played most of these. Paladins of the West Kingdom. This is an A. This is another one that fits in this slot right here. I'm gonna put it right there. This is another one that fits in this like Euro slot right here of Euro games that I really love playing. So we'll put it there. It's either Architects or Paladins are my favorite of the West Kingdom series, but all three of the West Kingdom series are my favorite, or some of my favorite games of all time. And then there's Raiders of Scythia or Raiders of the North Sea that also fits that. The South Tigris games don't come anywhere close to the West Kingdom or the Raiders game for me. All right, Star Wars Imperial Assault. This is another one that hits this slot for me. I owned it at one point. I'll probably never play it again. I love Star Wars, so that alone is making it top of C. And I did paint a fair amount of the miniatures I had for this game. I'm just not ever probably ever playing it again. PAX Premier. This is a tough one. I did like my play of this game. It's so unique how you're placing your little, like, the production is very bizarre, and the mat is bizarre, but you're placing your wooden maple or wooden things out there, but they aren't just solely yours, and influence over the different things shift. It's unique. It's definitely a whirly game, which is cool. I don't know where I would place this. I think I'm just gonna throw it at the bottom of B. I've only played it once and it was a little complicated. All right, Gloomhaven, I'm putting at the bottom of A because I've cooled on it so much, but I think it still deserves to be an A. I've played probably 15 to 20 scenarios out of the 100 in the base game box. I loved it when it came out, but the same situation with Imperial Assault, Nemesis, and Tainted Grail. It doesn't hit the table anymore. And unless I get back into it and I'm playing through a campaign, it's hard for me to justify getting this out and playing it. So I still like it, but it's gonna be at the bottom of A. Lords of Waterdeep, I can see putting this at the top of B. This is a classic worker placement game. It is just a classic game. I think it holds up. I played this not that long ago. This game holds up. It's solid. I like it, especially with the expansion. Teotihuacan. This is overrated. I think it's fine. I'm gonna put it above PAX Premier and above these two. Above Twilight Struggle, above Pandemic, below Mechs vs. Minions for me. I enjoyed the couple times I played it. I did play it with an expansion, at least the first expansion, a couple times as well. It's cool. It's just, it doesn't stand out for me. Something about the way you go around the board and you're trying to do this tight resource management into actions economy. It's fine. The coolest part is the pyramid in the middle where you're getting points or whatever it is you get when you're able to like place on top of a thing and then also connect different things. That's cool. The rest of the game, I didn't think was that great. Hot take. Inish is a good game, not as good as Kemet or Cyclades. I think the drafting is a cool concept, but it doesn't hit like the other two. It still is a good game though, so I'm gonna put it here for me. I like it more than Teotihuacan. I probably like it less than the rest of these. Fields of Arla, A tier game. We're gonna put it probably right there. Actually, I might like it more than, no, I like Anachrony more. Fields of Arla is one of the most underrated UA games. Everyone likes all the other ones better. I think Fields of Arla is fantastic. Underwater Cities, boom, right above Everdell. I'll play Underwater Cities over Terraforming the Mars 100% of the time. Puerto Rico, overrated. Putting it at the top of C. Something about the way this game works and it makes me feel dumb. And if other players are efficiently doing their resource management and just getting way out ahead of you, it makes me feel like I'm just not good at the game, and I don't like games that do that. Puerto Rico, it's fine. I'm not a big fan of it. It's also ugly and super outdated. Clank, actually, I own this. I haven't played it, but I would put it in S tier just because it's Clank, but it's Clank Legacy. I'm gonna put it down here because I just haven't played through my copy. I literally own it. I just haven't played it yet. I even have the Acquisitions Incorporated miniatures box that you can play with the base game Clank that gives you unique starting decks in a miniature. I just haven't gotten around to playing this yet. Oh well. Great Western Trail. We're gonna put this at the bottom. No, we're putting this probably right here. You know what? We'll put it right there. I actually like Brass more than Terraforming Mars. I think I like Great Western Trail more than Brass. It's cool, the little rondelle mechanic where you're going to the top of the board and then you come back down, and as you're going, you're building out these locations that you can stop and do different actions. Your deck building the cows in your deck so that when you get to the top, you can do the wrangling or whatever they call it. It was fun when I played it. I think it's good. Number one, I haven't played it enough to be able to say, oh, this is one of my favorite games of all time. In addition, it hasn't really brought me back to the game that much. I played it, I think, three times, and I haven't been like, oh, I'm dying to play Great Western Trail. So that alone tells me it's fine, it's good, it's not an A or an S. Marvel Champions, easily an S tier game. Probably put it there. Do I like Marvel Champions more than Arkham Horror? That's tough. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, let's do this. Clank over these two, and then Marvel Champions over Arkham Horror. Maracaibo, this is an A. This slots in somewhere right around here, probably. Let's put it there, because I've played Maracaibo more than I've played Marco Polo, and I do like Maracaibo quite a bit, so that feels like a good spot to put it. Kanban EV. Do I like it more than the Galers or less than the Galers? I don't like it more than On Mars. I think I like it more than the Galers, but I don't think I like it more than the rest of these in the line above it. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. I actually like it more than base game Gloomhaven because it's, for a lot of reasons, the book, it's a smaller box, it's easier to hit the table, and I played Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion with my wife, so that gives me some kind of like sentimentality to it. Cascadia, I think, is overrated. Putting it at the top of C. I do not understand the just absolute immense amount of hype that this game has around it. It's cool. It's nothing crazy. Race for the Galaxy. I do like this game. I love how snappy it is. I love the combos that you can build. Race for the Galaxy is fantastic. Terra Mystica. I think I like it more than Barrage, but I don't think it's an A tier game. Gaia Project I like more than Terra Mystica, but it's basically the same game, so they go in the same spot. I have not played Pandemic Legacy Season 0 because Season 2 just did not hit the spot. Caverna, I think I put in B tier, at the top of B tier, because I like his other games better. Beyond the Sun is also a great game, probably B tier for me. Do I like it more than Caverna? Probably. Dune Imperium, this is an easy A. Actually, you know what, this is it an S? Yeah, we're gonna put it in S. We're putting it there. Lost Ruins Varnak, that's also an S. The Crew, this is an A. I liked playing it. I thought it was really fun. I kind of am skimming past these. Dune Imperium, Lost Ruins Arnak are deck building, worker placement games. I love both of these games. I think I like Dune a little bit more than Lost Ruins Varnak because of the interaction, especially with the expansions. Although Lost Ruin of Arnak with the expansions is also super fun. Search for Planet X is definitely an S tier game for me. Probably the best deduction style game that exists. Mage Knight, never played. Lisboa, never played. Lancashire, never played. Sleeping Gods, we're putting at the bottom of an A. The reason it's at bottom of A is because it is another one of these games that's an absolute bear to take out. Actually, you know what? We're gonna put it above Twilight Imperium because it's equally as much of a bear as playing Twilight Imperium or Gloomhaven, but I'll put it under Twilight Imperium. I think I like it less than Twilight Imperium, the experiences that it gives me. But I do think it's a fantastic game. Great Western Trail. This is the same game. I'm just gonna put it right next to Great Western Trail. Wherever it is, there it is. The Crew, the same game. Okay. Le Havre. I like it less than Converna, but I do think it's a great game. Quacks of Quedlinburg, we're gonna put this in B above Lords of Waterdeep. I also like that one. Never played Kingdom Death Monster, never played Through the Ages. Orleans, another solid Euro game. Probably place it above Clans and Rebellion. Probably do this with Rebellion. Through the Ages, never played it. Gonna have to do this. Eclipse, never played. Aeon's End, never played. Concordia Venus, never played, although I would argue it's the same thing as Concordia, so I'm just gonna put it next to it. Let's knock out the ones I've never played. Free Chain Magnate, never played. Hegemony, never played. Frosthaven, never played. Eclipse, never played. Sky Team, never played. Age of Innovation, never played. Cthulhu Death May Die, never played. Netrunner, never played. Oathsworn, never played. Zulkin, never played. Grand Austria Hotel we'll put at the actually behind Beyond the Sun. Too Many Bones. We're gonna put this with the group of games that are just too much effort and not worth the effort. Heat, I've never played. Spirit Island, we'll put at actually we'll put it at the bottom of A because I did like it the one time I played it, but it is complex and I haven't been able to get it I don't own it, but I haven't gotten it to the table since then. Agricola, my least favorite of the games from Uwe Rosenberg. El Grande, I think, is overrated. I'll put it with Puerto Rico because I think both of those deserve to be in the same spot. Dune Uprising, we'll put it right next to Dune because it's basically just more Dune. Seven Wonders Duel, I think, or Seven Wonders, I think deserves to be an A tier just based on GP. So I'm putting it there. Actually, we'll probably put it above these and put it right there. That seems like a good spot to me. And then Dominant Species. Where do I want to put this? We're gonna put it somewhere around here. I think it's a solid game. Here we go. I think it's a solid game. It's just not pretty, or I think it's a solid game, but it's one that's not hitting the table very frequently. I think I actually put it below Inish. All right, that didn't take me too long. I thought it was gonna be over an hour. It took me 40 minutes. That is my top 100 games of BGG in July of 2024 tier list. How many S's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 S's. I could arguably put some of these up here at the top of A into S. Between Root, Viticulture, Arc Nova, Feast for Odin. Feast for Odin is the one that's really, really hurting me here. I think, you know what? Why not? Let's put Feast for Odin in S. So that puts us at 12 games in the S tier. There you have it, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.